Hi friends, thank you all so much for joining me for Sweet and Slow Yoga Flow. So we will be moving our bodies. We're just going to do it in a very fluid manner. And sweetness, I want to say sweetness in yoga philosophy in Sanskrit is called sukha. So sukha is the softness and the sweet, where sthira is the strength. So it seems like a lot of the yoga poses that we do, are strong, strengthening poses. But in the Yoga Sutras, in the ancient writings on yoga, it says that sthira and sukha are needed. So you need strength and sweetness. So as we move today, and we'll do some strengthening poses, I'll try to remind you to find the sweetness. So maybe that's you take a big breath in, or you can sink a little bit lower, or just find the enjoyment, or maybe even turn the corners of your mouth up. But just to find a little bit of that sukha in all of the postures. So let's go ahead and start cross-legged in the middle of your mat. You can sit up on something if you'd like to bring the hips higher. And we'll just come in to the breath. Waterfalling the shoulders down the back. So roll the shoulders back and imagine it just sinking down the back body. Natural curve in the low back. Collarbones are wide, so lengthening across from shoulder to shoulder. Maybe lifting up on the ears just a little bit. Starting to breathe. Notice where your breath is going. A lot of times we tend to breathe only in the chest, so you feel only the chest rise and not the belly rise. So let's bring one hand on the chest, one hand on the belly, and when you inhale, both expand. That might feel a little strange, because we do tend to breathe up high, but keep going. And this kind of helps to map where you send the breath. So expanding on the inhales, and deflating on the exhale. Then you can also add another piece to this and imagine you had a third hand that you could place on the back of your heart. And you're also expanding back there as well, so the back body expands. So inhale brings you wide 360 degrees. And drop the hands if you'd like, or if you'd like that touch to remind you. Finding a slow and steady breath to take with you through our practice. And if we ever start moving a little too fast, or you feel that you've lost your breath, or you need to stop for a moment, please stop and always come back to your breath. You can always begin again. Breath is most important, and we just add movements to decorate the breath. So I'm going to show you a mudra. You can flutter your eyes open or open one eye. Take the hand, and I'm going to take the crevice of the thumbs together and flip the palms. So I have the thumbs connected. The hands will go to the heart. And now you can close your eyes again. This is Garuda Mudra. So mudra is a hand position, a symbolic hand position with an intention, a meaning attached to it. So Garuda Mudra is good to use if you're feeling stressed or anxious, or just as a reminder that you're protected and that you're safe. That your mat is a safe space. Your hands here. Big inhale. Out the mouth. Once more in. and out the mouth. Inhale, release the mudra. Bring the hands up and over, overhead, and exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Hands to heart center, using the whole breath to get where we're going. So constant movement. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Bring the legs out in front. We're going to place the hands behind the thighs, round the back. Place the forehead to the knees. Slowly, we're going to roll down onto the back, keeping the chin tucked into the chest. So we're getting a big stretch from the base of the neck all the way down the sides of the spine. So keep curled in. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Roll down onto the back. Eventually, you'll have to let your hands go. And bring the knees into the chest. And start to rock side to side. Just getting a little bit of movement here. And a little massage on the muscles on the sides of your spine. And let's take the right leg long. Take the left knee in. And instead of bringing it to the chest, we're actually going to bring it over to the shoulder. So you can hold with your hands, or you can wrap the left arm around the knee and pull down. So we're opening, so pulling it out to the side. Flex the right toes. And notice where your breath is. Sometimes when we start adding movement, it's hard to remember the breath when it's not a habit to have this conscious, deep breathing yet. It's always just coming back to it and coming back to it and beginning again. It's always an option. Now we're going to take half happy baby. So take either the left foot or the left ankle, and we're going to pull down. So I have the left arm inside of the knee and then pulling on the outside of the foot. And I'm pulling the leg down the same time as I'm kicking the foot up into the hand. So I'm doing both actions here, really getting into the hamstring. So this is where it starts to be a practice to find where the sweetness is, where the sukha is. Especially when your hamstrings are really tight. This feels like an intense pose, but where can you find the sweetness? The release of the hamstring. Maybe you take an extra big breath, sending oxygen to the area. Or just the joy of feeling more space in the hip. One more inhale. And let's cross the leg, the ankle over, pull the right knee in, and we'll take reclined pigeon. So threading the left hand through, right arm around, grab in front of the knee or behind the right thigh, pulling in. Yeah, maybe take some sighs. That's sweet. Good. Release the right foot down. We'll just take the left knee all the way over. Shift the hips just a little bit to the left, and then we'll twist to the right. So by shifting the hips, you're able to twist over more of a straight spine, which is safer. 3 rounds of breath here. Maybe you sigh out each one or let it come out through the lips. Come back to center. We'll switch sides. So this time, straighten the left leg long. Bring the right knee in. Towards the shoulder. You can wrap around. And if this is too much on the front of the thigh, you can also bend the left leg as well. That's an option. So we're just opening up the hip here. Enjoying the opening, feeling the muscles slowly release and space slowly expand. Now taking happy baby, taking the foot or the ankle into the hand. I like to grab on the inside of the knee, outside of the foot. I'm pulling down the knee the same time I'm kicking up with the foot. So isometric action. Sending more breath into the intensity. Our tendency is to actually hold the breath when we come up against discomfort. So we're starting to recreate that pattern, the habit, by deep breathing when you come into something uncomfortable, whether that be a stretch or sitting in traffic or an argument. Cross the leg over and we'll pull in for reclined pigeon. So when you can start to create that habit, life will get good. It'll get sweeter. It tells the body to relax. It will eventually become more natural, easier. Two more rounds of breath. And one more, drink it in. Sigh it out. Drop the left foot. Shift the hips over to the right just a little bit. Cross the leg over and we'll bring the knees all the way down to the left side. If this is too big of a twist, then you can just take knee over knee. So listen to your body today. It'll be different. It'll be in a different mood every day. One more in. Let it out. Come back to center. Bring knees into chest and we'll rock side to side again, bringing everything in. And then we'll start to rock up and down. So take the hands maybe behind the thighs and start to rock up and down the mat. And then cross the ankles, plant the hands, and we'll step back into a tabletop position. Good. Rolling the shoulder blades back. Let's drop the belly. We'll get into some cat-cows here. So make these sweet and fluid. We'll move a little bit with our own breath, so find some organic movement, so add some things. So we'll just start with cat-cow, belly down, pulling the hands back towards the knees isometrically to pull the chest forward, gazing up. And then exhale, pushing the ground away. Tucking the chin, bringing belly to spine, spine to sky. This time the hands feel like they're going towards the top of the mat. Inhale, we come forward, dragging hands and knees together as we gaze forward and up. And exhale, really pushing the ground away and towards the top of the mat. And now close your eyes and start to find some organic movement. So maybe you are spinning the torso in circles. Maybe you're coming up and down from child's pose or rolling your neck. Find something that feels good. And if you don't know what feels good, then just explore. Explore some different movements, listening to the body and moving with breath. One more inhale. And exhale, child's pose, push back. Let's walk the hands over to the left as far as you can, and then place the right hand over the left hand. Get a sweet side body stretch all the way from the fingers to the hip. You can pick up your chest a little bit and rotate it over to the left. And then maybe you can walk the hands a little bit farther. Keep breathing here. You can feel your chest and your belly push into your knees on your inhales. And everything coming closer to the floor on the exhales. And let's walk through center. So just hand over hand, all the way over to the right side. And you can pick the chest up again, like I said, and move the chest over. Left hand will go over right and then come down. Big side body stretch. Left fingers all the way down to the left hip. Breathing deeply. And just getting in the nooks and crannies and opening them up. Coming back to center. Inhale, come back up into tabletop position. Let's take the right hand out and the left leg out. So we're finding some strength here, pulling in on the core. So very strong pose, and where can you find the sweetness? One more inhale. This time bring knee to elbow. Push the ground away, creating roundness in the back. Inhale long. Exhale together. If you pull up on the pelvic floor, inhale long. It helps with the stability. Exhale together. Again, inhale long. And exhale down. Take cow pose. And cat. Good. Come back to tabletop. Set your base. We'll take left hand out, right leg out. Hold for 5. Finding the sweetness. So where is something that you're holding that you don't need to hold? Maybe you're holding your jaw. Maybe you're tightening somewhere that you don't need to. Inhale here. Exhale. Push the ground away. Knee and chest come in. Inhale long. Bring it in. Once more. And in. Good. Plant the hands. Let's tuck the toes, push back into downward dog. So again, check the wideness of your hands. Really open and wide palms. Pushing the ground away into downward facing dog. So start to pedal here. Looking back at your feet, see that you can leave the arches up. And maybe when you're pedaling down each side through the pinky edge side. So imagine if you could put the pinky edge side down first. And then find stillness here. On an inhale, come up on the toes. And exhale, bring the knees down towards the ground. And push away so that the hips are coming towards the heels. Gaze towards the hands. Kick into the feet to push yourself into plank position. The shoulders are away from the ears. And we'll push back to downward dog. So now we'll move with breath. Inhale, toes. Exhale, lower the knees, hips to heels, push the ground away. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward dog. Twice more, find some fluidity. Inhale, toes. Exhale, crouch, gaze forward. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, toes. Crouching low, gazing forward. Inhale. pose. This time, let's come all the way down to the ground. Bring the hands long. Place one cheek to the mat. Feel your pulse beating into the earth. Take a big inhale and release. Bring the left fingertips up tinted up on the ground. Bend the left foot. We're going to tap the foot 3 times. Push the ground away. A couple rounds of breath here, getting into the right shoulder, the upper scaps. Another inhale. And exhale, rolling back to center. Both arms out. Switch the cheek on the ground, gazing towards the right hand. 2 rounds of breath. Maybe you shake your hips out here. Right fingertips on the ground, left toes up, push the ground away, and touch the toes behind the knee. Big belly breaths here. Not just belly, but all the way. Belly, chest, ribs, heart, back of the heart, everything expanding. And coming back to center. Plant both of the hands underneath the shoulders. Pushing down with the pubic bone and the toes. Start to lift the chest up. I don't have any weight in my hands. Low cobra, so the whole back chain of the body is working. Shoulders away from ears. Feel the strength of the back body, and then turn the corners of your mouth up for the sweetness, for the sukha. And release. You can come back into low cobra, or we'll come into high cobra. High cobra, you will have weight in your hands. The elbows will be bent. The core is engaged, and I'm dragging the hands back towards my hips to pull the chest forward like cow pose. And release down. So both of those options there. Let's push back into child's pose. Take the hands at the nape of the neck and just feel that rootedness. Feel how nice that is to bring everything together to center. And this extra weight on the back of the head. Very grounding. Good. Hands go long. Find your way to downward facing dog. Gaze towards the hands. Let's come up onto the toes and walk tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. Like you're in stilettos all the way to the top of the mat. Take hands to the shins. Roll the shoulder blades on the back. Halfway lift. Micro bend in the knees. Finding a cobra in the back. Bow forward. Twice more. Inhale, halfway lift. Bow forward. Chest to thighs. And inhale, halfway lift. This time, take the hands on the hips. Gaze forward. And with the flat back, we'll lift all the way up to stand. Nice. Let's take the hands to heart center. We're going to come into diver's pose. So diver's pose, let's see, we'll inhale up. And then exhale, hands will go down by the side, and my chest will come down as well. So you can stay right here with both of the heels on the ground, or you can lift the heels up. That'll activate more of the back of the legs and the core, so you find the stability. Inhale here. Exhale, bend the knees, chair pose. Sit low. Inhale, let's take a wide V with the hands, spreading the collarbone. Exhale brings us sitting lower. One more. Inhale. Exhale. All the way down. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Plant the hands. Step back, right foot. Drop the back knee. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, plant the hands. Downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Come to the toes and exhale either through the knees or all the way down. Tuck. High cobra or low cobra. Push back, downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. Gaze towards the hands. Step forward into a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And hands to heart center. Onto the left side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, diver's pose. Coming forward, either with heels up or heels down, engaging the core. You can take a micro bend in the knees and send the sit bones up towards the sky. Lengthen the hamstring. One more inhale. Exhale, drop the heels, bend the knees, chair pose. Exhale, sit low. Pull the belly in. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, sit. One more time. Inhale, shine the heart. Sit low and bow forward. Halfway lift. Plant the hands. Step back with the left foot and drop the left knee. Arms up, chest forward, heart forward. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back. Downward facing dog. Shift forward to plank pose. So come all the way down. Everything meets at the same time, or you drop the knees and bring the belly down. Tuck the toes. Cobra pose. Push back. You can come through the knees into child's pose or push right back to downward dog. Inhale. Exhale. Gaze towards the hands, step or hop. Halfway lift and fold. Rise all the way up. And hands to heart center. Close your eyes. Check back in with your breath. Are you connected? Where are your thoughts at? Come back to the breath. Come back to the present moment. Next inhale, we lift the arms. And exhale, bow forward. Halfway lift. Plant the hands, step back with the right foot. We're going to tiptoe the left foot over and bring both of the hands down on the inside. You can drop the back knee or you can have it up, whichever one. So lizard pose. So we're going to do a cat and cow from right here. So cow, we'll pull the chest forward, drag the hands back. And then exhale, push the ground away, chin to chest. Inhale forward. Exhale. Cow pose. Can you feel it the same? A lot of times it's just these little poses that we move or that we change just a little bit and they create other poses. But some of these basic poses are in almost everything. One more time. Out, pushing the ground away. Good. Pick up the back knee if it was down, and we're going to turn to wide leg forward fold. Bring the toes in, the heels out, bringing the head down towards the ground. So trying to be long from the tail to the crown. Inhale, push the ground away, halfway lift. Exhale, bow forward. Twice more. In, find length, and out. One more time, in, finding cobra in the back, and out. Take the hands to the hips, bring the elbows towards each other behind the back, lift the chin out of the chest, and we're gonna come all the way up to standing with a flat back. Good. Take the left toes towards the front of the mat, take the arms out, roll the shoulder blades onto the back, bringing them together, and then exhale, we'll sit low into warrior two. So finding your warrior here. We'll check with the back arch, lifting up. That brings energy all the way up the legs. Check with the front knee that it's going in line with the toes. Maybe sink a little bit lower. And then inhale, straighten the front leg. We'll bring both of the arms back. You can flex the front foot. It's a sky archer. So it's like a triangle with the legs and a diagonal long line from the front foot to the arms. Yeah? And then we'll swing around, drop the back knee. Plant the hands, straighten the front leg. Half Hanumanasana. And we'll do that again on the other side so you can feel it more in your body. So breathing here. So you can take a bend in the knee, send the sit bones high towards the sky. That creates the stretch. So you don't have to worry about coming down too far, because really you can keep the integrity in the back, stay high with a natural curve, and also get the stretch in the hamstring. It's also nice to have blocks right here. Another inhale. And come forward. Plant the hands. Let's step up. Right foot meets the left. Halfway lift. Find cobra in the back. Bow forward. Rise all the way up. Hands to heart center. Inhale up. Exhale, bow forward. Halfway lift. Plant the hands, step back with the left foot. Let's walk the right toes over just a bit. Plant the hands. So same here. We'll do cat-cow in this lizard position, yeah? So inhale will be cow pose, dragging the hands back towards the hips, pulling the chest through. And then exhale, push the ground away, round everything. You may feel a really big sensation in this hip flexor here. Inhale forward. And exhale. Twice more with your own breath. Drink it in. And out. Once more. Good. Pick up the back knee. Walk to wide leg forward fold. So this time, let's walk the hands through. So fingertips are facing away, and maybe you can walk the fingertips towards the back. If you have a block, you can place the block under your head. So you give your noggin something to relax on. You can have the knees bent here. Just make sure that the toes are in and the heels are out. Now take the hands back to the hips like we did last time. Roll the shoulders on the back, the elbows going towards each other. Lift the chin out of the chest. With a flat back, we'll rise up. We'll take the right toes towards the front of the mat. Shoulder blades onto the back, arms strong and sweet. Maybe the rolling down the back is the sweetness here. And then bend in the front leg. Check the front alignment, pulling back on the right hip, knee in line with the toes, and then also checking on the back, the heel or the pinky edge side is planted down and the arch is lifted, so the energy is coming up the leg. Forward, upward moving energy. Sink a little bit lower. And then inhale, straighten the front leg, we flex the front toes, both arms go back, sky archer, so a long line from fingers to toe. So to move from here, we're gonna swing the arms back, down, and around and drop the knee. Plant the hands and press back. Takes a lot of core to do that, so don't feel bad if it's not very graceful in the beginning. It really helps to pull up on the pelvic floor. That helps to engage the low belly muscles whenever you're turning, making that transition. So be patient with yourself. So again here, if you have blocks, they're wonderful. You can bend the knee, send the sit bones up towards the sky to lengthen the hamstring. Couple more rounds of breath here. And we'll come forward. Plant the hands. Take a big step up. Left foot meets the right. Halfway lift. Cobra in the back as you bow. And inhale, we rise. Hands to heart center. And again, lift. And bow forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back with the right foot. Inhale, gaze forward. So this is the cow. Exhale, we'll straighten the front leg. This is the cat, chin to chest. Inhale, forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And this time drop the back heel. We'll open up to warrior two. Sink low. Find strength and ease. Straighten the front leg. Both arms go back, sky archer. Swing the arms low to come forward. Drop the back knee and come up. Drop the hands. This time we're gonna pick up the back knee, walk the foot in. Pyramid pose. Hands are underneath blocks. Bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. Putting weight in this front foot like it's a gas pedal. Still moving with breath. And once more, inhale. Flex the front foot and take the toes towards the left. Take the hands to the left. Walk around and bend the knees. Sit down. You'll probably have to adjust the seat a little bit, but we're coming into Gomukhasana, so preferably both Knees are coming together. You can also have this bottom leg out if you just need a little more space today. You can bring it in. You can also sit up on something here, yeah? Bringing hands to the feet, close the eyes. Where are your thoughts? Where's your breath? These are just a couple questions that we should get used to asking ourselves a lot. Take the right hand out to the side and find the floor. Take the left arm up and over. Gaze under the left arm. Maybe you come down to the elbow and gazing up. Maybe you take the hand behind the head, press the head into the hand. Breathe deep. And come up. That one felt sweet. Place the left hand on the ground. The right hand comes up and over. Gazing up. Spinning the chest towards the sky. Taking the right hand behind the head, pressing the head back into the hand. It's a big opening up underneath the arm, also in the low back. And of course in the hips, all that's happening. Next inhale brings you up. Let's plant the hands behind. Take the feet in front. Fingertips will face towards the heels. Roll the shoulder blades onto the back. Chest is coming forward to the thighs. Inhale, we'll lift the hips up. Exhale, drop the head back. Stick the tongue out. Inhale. Exhale. Drop the knees. We'll come into, you can turn your body to the side and we'll come into a boat pose just for 5 seconds. So you can hold to the backs of the thighs. You could straighten the legs if you'd like, but bringing the chest forward and checking in with the low back. And crossing the ankles. Coming back into a downward dog just for a moment. Gaze towards the hands, step or jump. Halfway lift and bow forward. We'll rise up. Hands to heart center. So we'll go to the other side, take a moment. Reconnect with your breath. And inhale up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step back with the left foot. This time, let's inhale forward. This will be cow. And then exhale, straighten the leg. Bow forward, chin to chest. This will be cat. Inhale forward, dragging the hands back towards the hips. And exhale, bow. Twice more. Inhale. This is good. I'm getting a really good shin stretch here. Exhale. In. Drop the back heel. Let's open up. Warrior two. Checking in with the alignment, pulling back on the right hips, sinking low. Shoulders on the back. Strength and sweetness. Next inhale, come up to sky archer, arms are back. Inhale here. Exhale, swing the arms down. Come around, drop the back knee. Plant the hands. Pick up the back knee, and we'll shift forward into a pyramid pose. So inhale, you can find length. Blocks are wonderful here. And exhale, fold forward. So the back heel is at a 45-degree angle and the arch is lifted, very important. So every time you look back at that foot, check in with your arch. You can inhale, make space. And exhale, fold. You can check in with your hips as well. If you just want to see where you are in space, maybe take the right thumb to the right hip and pull back. You can also put the hand on the sacrum just to kind of feel. Inhale one more time, find space. This time flex the front foot. Sending the weight down for the heel. That's intense, but feels nice. And take the hands to the right. Stay for just a second here, and we'll continue to turn. And we'll bring ourselves down. So now we're towards the back, and you can kind of shimmy your hips in. Taking the hands to the feet. We'll take the right hand over, left arm up and over, gazing underneath. Hand behind the head. Again, pushing head into hand. Maybe you come to the elbow. Big side body stretch. Inhale, we'll come up. Left hand comes down, right arm up. So just switching sides. Noticing if the hip wants to come up and trying to keep both hips centered, rooted. And inhaling, coming up. You can start to unwind here, unwind the legs. And again, we'll come into the altar pose. So the toes are pointing forward, the fingers are pointed towards the heels. The chest is coming forward towards the thighs. Let's inhale, lift the hips up, and exhale with the tongue out. One more in and out. That's always fun. Sink the hips. Take the hands behind the thighs, and again, boat pose, 5 seconds. So if sukha means sweetness, then dukkha means suffering. So when you stick the tongue out and you let it go, it's releasing the dukkha, releasing the suffering. Something nice to keep in mind when people might wonder what you're doing, but just tell them you're releasing the suffering when they're making you angry. Just stick your tongue out and let it go. Cross the knees, cross the ankles, plant the hands, find your way back to a downward facing dog. And this time let's plant the knees down and come back into a child's pose. Knees wider, knees together. Start to walk the hands up. You can bring the knees together here. Close the eyes. Feel the breath. Feel the space that you've created. Let's take the hands and we'll switch the sides. So whenever we did the Garuda Mudra at the beginning, pick the opposite side. So the one that feels a little strange, that side. And we'll twist the hands. So the palms are facing the chest and take it to the chest. Breathing into the hands, hands pressing into the heart. And just a reminder that you're safe and you're loved and protected. As if I don't think we can get too many of those. And it's important that we can tell ourselves this, that we don't always need to hear these things from other people, but that we can console and remind ourselves of these matters, of these truths. Let's release the hands. We'll take Dancing Camel. So you can do this sitting with the hips down, or you can come up if you'd like. If you come up and spread about hips distance a little bit. We'll look back at the right heel. Take the right hand to the heel, left arm up. Inhale here. Exhale, swing this arm around. Plant the left hand. And exhale, I'll swing around. And inhale. So I'll show you this seated as well. So the hand will not be on the heel, but just right off the back. And so inhale here. And exhale. In. And out. This feels really nice, and you can close your eyes. It's just a really meditative movement, the swaying, the rocking, kind of a nurturing feeling. So about 2 more. And coming back to center. Let's come down onto the seat. Let's take the feet out in front. You can pull your bum out. That'll help sit the pelvis a little more forward. So you have the natural curve in the low spine. It's important. Pull the toes back. Inhale, come up. And exhale, begin to fold forward. So even if you can grab your feet, go ahead and take a little bit of bend in the knees. And see what this does for the low back. So the low back can be rounded, but the more you bend the knees, you're able to straighten, keep the natural curve in the low back. So bow forward like that. Wherever you are, drop the neck. It's a very heavy body part, and we hold it all day long, so just release. Maybe shake the head yes and no. Gaze towards your toes. And inhale, rise. Let's take the left leg in to the right thigh. Flex the right toes back. Inhale, lengthen high. And exhale, bow forward. So same thing here. You can take at least a micro bend in the right knee. That'll help to lengthen the low back and actually even get you closer towards the toes. Because we're thinking about nose to toes rather than nose to knee. If you'd like a little bit more here, take the hands off to the right side. You can kind of pick up the belly, move it over, and come back down. This really gets into the low back, and the side, this QL muscle here. So this used to be very painful, and now this is a very sukha pose for me, a very sweet pose. It feels delicious. You know, sometimes there's that good hurt. That's kind of where this is. I consider that sweetness. And start to push yourself up. Plant the left hand. The right hand goes out towards the toes, and we'll dial it around, kind of like we were doing the dancing camel, and then push the ground away, lift the hips up, reach back. So really long from the right hand all the way down to the toes. Another inhale here. And exhale, come back down to the seat. Left leg out, we'll switch sides. So bringing the right leg in. Whenever we're doing these bilateral things, you just always have to remind yourself that hardly anyone is even on both sides. So inhale, lift, and exhale, fold forward. So if you're thinking that you may be the only one, you're not. It's completely normal. And then again, if you'd like, you can take the hands off to the left. You can pick the belly up a little bit and swing it around and drop. Notice if you're clenching your jaw, maybe separate the teeth and wiggle the jaw back and forth. A couple more sweet rounds of breath, sending it to this slow release in the low back. And start to come back up. We'll take the right hand behind the right hip, the left arm goes up and around, push the ground away, hips, heart, hand up and open, big opening. Big stretch. Maybe look down or up. And coming back to center. Let's roll back down onto the back. So like we started at the beginning, tuck the head, tuck the chin, roll everything in, and very slowly we'll come down, down, until you have to release the hands. Bringing the knees into the chest. Rock side to side for a moment. Deepening the breath now. Maybe a little deeper than we were taking through a standing sequence. Let's take the right leg over the left leg. Flex the feet. We're going to grab at the ankles or the outsides of the feet. So this is the same position that we did whenever we were sitting. Gomukhasana. This is reclined Gomukhasana. We weren't quite done with the hip stretches, so we'll get one more in right here. But it's a good one. It's important to always be working on the hip opening, releasing. Holds a lot of emotional storage, emotional junk there as well. So always a good practice. And release. And bring the knees together and the feet wide. A hand on the heart, a hand on the belly. Start to trace the breath again with the hands. Feel the breath. Bring the knees over to the right, gaze towards the left. Coming back to center. Let's take the left foot over the right. So this sthira and sukha, So same thing on this side, we'll pull in, Gomukhasana. But the Sthira and Sukha is just another, way to show balance, how we need to have balance in our lives. We can't always be working. We need the sweet, soft things in life as well. We need the play, we need the relaxation. So yes, work is needed and productivity, but can you do it with an air of joy? And bring the knees back, the legs back around. Bring the knees together. Switch the hand to belly, the direction of which was on top. And then we'll take the knees to the left, gaze to the right. When you notice that you're not taking enough time for yourself, it's very easy to do. Just really make a point of remembering that the sweetness has to happen. The contrast has to happen, even for, the work and the strength to be valid and to be productive. You need the contrast of the two to keep it all balanced out. You can leave the hands where they are, but lift the legs. And start to bring the legs out and long. Maybe you shake them out for just a moment. And spread them a little wider than maybe you normally would. Maybe shake the feet side to side, the ankles. Take a couple more rounds of breath into the hands. And then let the hands drop to the side, roll the shoulder blades on to the back. Let the body be soft and supported by the earth. Notice if you're storing tension anywhere, if anything is being held. Everything should be free and lax and loose right here. Not holding the hips, not holding the jaw. Not holding any thoughts. That's probably the hardest. If you find that you're thinking again, come back to the breath. It brings you back into right now. Just take a few moments to marinate in the practice. Start to deepen your breath. Bring your thumb to each fingertip. Wiggle your toes. Maybe roll the ankles. And bring the hands up overhead. And a big full body stretch. And the knees come into the chest. And you can rock from one side or the other. Knees to the left or knees to the right. And take a full round of breath on your side. Plant the top hand and push your body away from the ground with eyes heavy or eyes closed. Come back to a seated pose. And find that position that we started with, the shoulders, water falling down the back, natural curve in the low back, and the broadness across the collar. Notice space that you've created and openness. And thank yourself for spending time for this work, for yourself, to balance out. Hands to heart center. And may we always practice and always seek the softness and the sweetness, even in the hard places. The light, the love, and the teacher within me bows and sees the light, the love, and the teacher within you. We bow and say, Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this practice. I enjoyed sharing it with you. I think I fell asleep in Shavasana almost. I hope you got some rest as well. And move slow, drink some water, and really, like we talked about, try to continue this theme for your day, for your week. Be kind to yourself. Thank you.